Welcome back, friends, to Atilateo, the Absolute World, and the newly founded fortress Turelotad, Learnedhands. When we last saw Learnedhands, our founding dwarves were debating whether to dig through the deep, deep caverns to the promise of magma and rare gems, or be satisfied with the bounty they had found here. Dire warnings of hidden dangers and unspeakable beasts were heard from the more experienced of the party. But yes, they also heard tales of near limitless wealth and the bounties of the magma forge. Tempers flared, and just as fear and doubt threatened to overtake the dwarves, Rovad Mirrored Men, bookmaster and expedition leader, stalked into the room and screamed, "What are we? A bunch of damned elves? Dig, dig, you fools, as if the glory of all Turelotad rest upon your pick, for surely it does." Before her last word had finished ringing through the cavern tunnels, Mona Madilarol was on the move. He was a newcomer to the fort, but an expert miner who knew he could prove his worth. He would lead the charge through the caverns and down to their destiny below. For days, he worked on the stairwell, down and down and down, further and further. His pick rang true, avoiding every obstacle, as he himself overcame exhaustion and thirst. He had just turned a corner to the site of the next stairwell he planned to dig when he caught a small glimmer answering his torchlight through the darkness. As he approached the column, he saw vast amounts of gems studded throughout. Suddenly, he could hear himself saying out loud, "I could dig my way up this wall in a day and bring back the greatest fortune this fort has yet seen." Unwilling to continue on his original path, he began to feverishly excavate the wall, uncovering a massive bounty of gems. His thoughts turned to his wife, Minkot Claspcrypt. They would be celebrating their 5-year anniversary soon. He would certainly be bringing her a treasure from the jeweler after this adventure. He knew he needed to return to the dig, but the siren call of the gem wall was inescapable. Just one more ramp. Just one more level up. There's more to be found here, I know it, Minkot said to himself, as his pick slammed into the stone over and over. Just as he was thinking, for the first time, that perhaps he was going too far, all became darkness. He was pummeled by flying rocks and pointed gems. He felt great pain and then nothing. When he opened his eyes, he was lying on the cavern floor, feeling lucky to have escaped with his life. Blinking, he looked around, and he saw the rubble of his terrible misstep. He sighed. Well, at least I've brought it down. I can go sift through this wreckage, bring back what I can, and get a drink at the tavern. As he stepped up to the pile to pull the last of the gems out that he could see, he heard a truly deafening roar from above. He barely had time to look up as a mass of stone crashed upon him. In the end, it was a piece of ilmenite, a stone he rather liked, which struck him in the head, exploding it into gore. He had just enough time to think, ilmenite. At least it's magma safe. Perhaps they'll find it useful. Our dwarves, shocked and saddened by the loss of Mourning, solemnly dug the first tombs of Turelotad. A steel sarcophagus and statue were commissioned in honor of his role as an important miner in the fort. And all who pass by see this. A well-designed image of Mourning and Minkot Claspcrypt, the dwarves, in steel by Vabok Sokenrisen. Mourning is embracing Minkot. The artwork relates to the marriage of Mourning and Minkot in the late winter of 100. Despite the tragedy down in the mines, the fort's in high spirits. We've welcomed new migrants seemingly every season since the founding. Here we are carving bedrooms for all our new citizens. Everyone receives the same treatment here in Learnedhands, gem windows and a private study for all. On our list of notable newcomers, we have Vabok and Nomel, a pair of weaponsmith sisters. We've set them up side by side here in our newly expanded workshop zone, a little family business. Vebok is an interesting character. She's a bit surly, having gotten into several friendly arguments here already, and she is often shadowed by her two pets, a goose and a turkey named Sodal and Domas. Aw. The dwarves have taken a particular liking to Sodal, who's made a habit of hanging out in the tavern and keeping everyone company. Speaking of taverns, we have a fancy new tavern! We realized that the 3 tables we had kind of shoved together next to the bedrooms and stuck a couple barrels of old beer next to it just wasn't really gonna cut it. So I give you the Cozy Corner Conversation Tavern. This tavern is designed to facilitate deep conversation. There's lots of little private corners and quiet tables. Hopefully this won't devolve into a scheming den of schemers, but so far the dwarves seem to like it, and their nice new set of platinum goblets too. We're working on the instrument collection, but one thing at a time. And we have our first artifact created here at Turelotad. Our gem cutter, Asmel Adamshem, has created Dothnormid Tob Gakast Tangak, a resin opal ring, and she is kindly offering it to the distant language, our civilization. This is a resin opal ring. All Crafts dwarfship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of table-cut resin opals. Simple, but elegant. I like it. Thanks, Osmel. In other news, our libraries are working. These are the private libraries in our original 7's bedrooms. Eventually all of our dwarves will have their own private libraries, but hey, these things take time. Here we have Obok Vessel Flanked. She's a scholar, and she has come to study. She has heard that the Treasury of Lancers was the place to perform research. That would be the private library of Dylan. And she is enthusiastic after pondering cultural comparison. Interesting. We have actually had quite a few scholars visit the fort already. We have already built a reputation as the place to come and think and study and ponder. This is very good. And check out our Lord Consort. We got a Lord Consort. I guess that's good. It sounds good. Time just flies by here in Turelotad. The new bedroom wing is shaping up nicely for all the migrants. This fort has grown so quickly, it's been a little challenging to keep up with the crowds just pouring in, and we'll take all the help we can get, but it has been a lot to manage. Hey, there's Sodal over there, just hanging out in a temple. Vabok's not even around. What are you doing? Something we're excited about is our guild halls. We have so much knowledge invested in this fort already that we want to spread that as fast as we can. We were a bit surprised to learn that there are no geometry or astronomy or mathematics or writing guilds. There's no poets guild or scribes guild. Seems like something we ought to change if we ever get into a position of authority here at Learnedhands. Anyway, we do have 2 guilds that have been established here, a Farmers Guild and a Rangers Guild. We wish them best of luck in their many demonstrations to come. Now, this is a very humble but exciting development for Turelotad. We have a pigtail farm that we have started down in the caverns. This is going to be for the production of paper. We're hoping someday we might become a major exporter of paper products, but for now we need to just make sure that we can take care of our own needs here for our library, which will be the central feature of this fortress. We were fortunate to have a highly skilled planter by the name of Bemble come through in one of the latest migrant waves. We're going to put Bemble in charge of pigtail production while Shiner takes care of the farms and stills upstairs. And interestingly enough, not too long ago, the caravan from the mountain homes arrived for their annual visit to trade. They have requested cloth and fish. We have a lot of fish in this fortress, more fish than we know what to do with, so that's not a problem, and perhaps we can spare a few pigtail plots for cloth production. This could turn out pretty well for us next year. So, all in all, Turelotad is getting on its feet, and we can turn our attention back to these caverns. The dig indeed continues. We have found tons of gold, which is always nice to see. And now we are just diving down as deep as we can go. It's a winding path through the many openings in the caverns, but we have found solid rock, and down we continue to dig. We are going to find magma, and we are going to find it very soon. We are, of course, stopping at every opportunity to collect the gems we find as we excavate these caverns. We have a great need for gems, and we are not passing anything up, but we never lose sight of our main goal, which is to find the magma sea. And it just so happens that as we reach the 116th level, we find warm stone. Yes, this is what we've been waiting for, but we must proceed with the utmost caution. We're going to go to a place where we know it's safe, and we're going to channel down, and we are going to uncover this magma. Here we can see our staging area. We know we have warm rock below, but we have not found any around here. So we've dug out an area, and we are going to begin to channel down. It's probably a good sign that we have fire snakes all of a sudden appearing out of nowhere. That's interesting. Maybe they went through a crack in the wall. Creepy. Okay, we're excavating. We're getting through. Okay. Nothing here. Let's try the next row. Come on, magma. We know you're down there. Look out, fire snake. Nothing on this row either. All right. Oh, warm stone all around. We're finding it. I feel it. And there we have it. We have found the magma sea. And oh boy, we are surrounded by the magma sea. Hello. Okay. I have a feeling that maybe we've gone deeper into the magma sea than we think we have. This is interesting. It seems that at the exact same time we discovered the magma sea for the first time, we have also found the unusual volcanic wall studded with gems. Oh my. We have stumbled directly into a very interesting spire, and while we're not quite ready to go digging around here too much, we just have to see what else is down here. Let's get down into this and just gingerly see if we can discover anything else down here.
Adamantine, extract the strands and smelt the wafers. Adamantine, fire the forges for the glory of all Torchlight. Finest metal for the scholars. Adamantine, finest gift of the gods. Adamantine.
We are excited, but given that we only have a squad of 4 who has never trained, and we've got a couple of steel helms and spears and not much else, there are things around here that we don't want to mess with yet. Not to worry, we will be forging all kinds of adamantine scroll rollers and bookshelves, but we did not really expect to be here anytime soon. But here we are, so we're going to make the most of it. We will, I assure you, be recovering this adamantine, but we are in fact not in much of a rush to do that. We are instead immediately getting to work on our magma forges because we want glass. That is going to be a major feature of our library. Glass gems for the gem windows is going to be extremely helpful. I mean, we're going to have a nice variety, but still, we need mass production here. Blocks for floors, interesting structures inside the main floors of the library. This is great. So we are ready to go here at Turelotad. And on that note, here are some blueprints for the upper floor of the library. On the path in from the stairs, we have 7 structures on the sides. These are eventually going to hold tombs and statues of our original 7 founding dwarves. You have to walk past them in order to get through this main entrance. Our expedition leader is going to get 2 statues in the very last zone before entering the library, so that all will remember the life they forged here. The life that continues on next time at Turelotad, Learnedhands.